Hello, I'm in my Cayenne, and this is a diesel 2014, and probably from the title you have discerned that I have a problem with the PCM 3.1. I'll show you what's going on, and then we're gonna apparently try to fix it with some stuff that I've seen online. So this isn't new, I'm just basically making a video regurgitating what I found on Renlist. So let me show you what's going on. I have this PCM 3.1 4.73. Apparently if you have a problem, which this particular problem is pretty notorious, this thing will just turn on and off. So like it'll kind of reboot itself. It's very annoying. It does it, in my car it does it about every 4.5 minutes, but I've seen other people say that it happens every 2.5 minutes. And realistically, like, what goes on is everything seems to work except Bluetooth, which is literally the only reason the only thing I use in this car is the Bluetooth. But the problem is I want to be able to push aux, and there's usually a third option there. Like when you click this, it says disc aux and then Bluetooth aux. And what it does is it'll say loading disc, and then randomly, like, oh, it hasn't frozen yet, but usually it freezes up like this and then pops off here. And none of this goes away, like all these internal screens and whatnot back here, none of that stuff stops. It's just only this center section. I'm just playing things to see if it'll play. And now it's frozen. See, look, nothing works. There we go. And you heard there was like a little bit of a shutdown noise, and then this reboots and static is back, and now we're back to normal. The phone is no longer connected, obviously, because it rebooted. It's really annoying, and like I said, it does it every couple minutes. So yeah, what we're gonna do, from what I've heard, there's two ways to fix this. One, if you don't have a corrupt drive, which I apparently do according to the symptoms that mine is producing, this is the way to fix it if you just have this problem and maybe you want to try to do it with some resets. So how you would do that is you hold down sound and info at the same time for 10 seconds. That reboots it. You probably heard the little noise. Once it reboots, you hit car. And I've done this quite a few times, so I'm very familiar with it now. You hit car, you go to option, you go to PCM settings, you go to reset PCM, you go to vehicle handover, you hit yes and yes. That literally like nukes all the cache in this PCM, even all your consumption and whatnot over here. And then that's supposed to fix the issue. However, it is not fixing the issue with mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the fuse for the PCM, which is somewhere over here. I think it's in the driver's side or passenger side. I can't remember. I'll have to pull the fuse panel and look. But it's pin 16 is for PCM. I think it does the emergency e-brake as well. I'll show you when I get there. And then I'm going to pull the head unit, which there's 4 clips on these. And then there's 4 bolts here. This thing pops out, and there's some plugs you have to unplug. The whole thing comes out. We're going to take that apart. There's a drive inside there. That's a mechanical drive that's spinning up and making that like pew noise. That's like it decelerating when it turns off. And I'm going to copy that drive onto a drive that I bought onto Amazon. Let's go ahead and get this thing powered down, pull the fuse, and yeah, get this thing out and take it apart. Alright, so I don't know what fuse that was loose. But apparently the one that I need is over here on the passenger side. $51. It's a 10 amp fuse right in the middle. I just heard it power down, so I know that's it. You stick the screwdriver in there, you pull this, and then you kind of nice. There we go. factory torque specs. Cover that up. Pull that back. Okay. Let go, you bastard. Thank you. Oh, god damn. So, there were 2 torque screws right here on the top. I'm pretty sure this is the drive. Toshiba! Hey, let me talk you through this because this is the flashing the whole drive situation, and I'll talk you through the downfalls and the upsides and what I would possibly do if I had to do this again, because it did take me and my dad, well, it took my dad a lot. He's the one that's like super geeky and really wanted to figure this out, and I obviously wanted to figure it out as well, but I was willing to buy this thing on Amazon that's like a disc cloner for like 30 bucks, but my impatience was like, I don't want to wait for that, buy tomorrow, so let's try to figure it out. So anyways, we spent like over 6 hours easy on trying to get this to work, and at the last minute we didn't think it was going to work, and I'll explain why, but we ultimately got it to work. And yeah, so let me talk you through that situation. So there's a couple ways you can, this is Scully, by the way, he's my old kitty, lives with my parents. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can buy a cloner on Amazon, you can clone it, it should be fairly easy. The discs right here, I got these, the P&Y 250 gig, it doesn't matter size, as long as whatever's cheapest. I actually got 2 250s for $38 same day shipped on Amazon, or I could have got one 120 gigabyte drive, same exact thing, for like $45, and it took a couple days to get here, so I just opted for the 2. My girlfriend has a Cayenne diesel as well, and I figured, you know, why not have an extra, and we're actually going to use it. I'm going to just go ahead and put one in hers too, because ultimately these spinning drives will take a dump at some point in the future, so why not go ahead and swap it out. So let me talk to you about what we did, and then I'll go through all the programming and the hardware you might need if you do want to go down the PC flashing route, because there's a lot of things like Clonezilla, and like we have another one called like Disk Genius or something like that, and I'll explain all that and I'll show you the exact method. But let me talk you through my symptoms again. I had a bad drive in my Cayenne. The symptom was you turn the car on, nothing happens. You try to connect Bluetooth to it. All of the other things work, like AM, FM, satellite, all that stuff works. But as soon as you try to connect Bluetooth to it, I essentially lost the Bluetooth aux feature, and when you plugged in anything via USB, it wouldn't work at all. And then occasionally, like as you tried to go through the steps of connecting your phone to the car, it would lock up, shut down, you'd hear the drive spin down, then it would turn back on. A few moments later, once it booted up, it would like basically 60% volume static at you, or whatever the default was. And yeah, that was really annoying, and it would do it every 2 to 4 minutes. So you'd turn your volume down, you're driving down the road, you're not really paying attention, and then static, and then you turn your volume down, and then 2 to 4 minutes later, static, super annoying. So what I did is we got all this working, we got the bad drive, because I hadn't pulled the one out of my girlfriend's car yet, which I ended up doing, and I have that. Got the bad drive, which isn't bad, but it does not work. So I'm assuming, and we plugged it up the computer, and it showed all of the files on there, but when we went to copy it, it wasn't copying the way that we thought it would. It was like instantaneous, and that's not normal because it's 100 gig. So we put it back in there, and with the drive with seemingly just a PDF on it because it wasn't copying correctly, basically a blank drive, it would do the same exact symptom, except it was a little longer. It would take about 4.5 minutes instead of 2 to 4. And same thing, you know, turn off. If you try to connect Bluetooth to it, it would connect, but then it would just wait and lock up and then turn off. So if you have no drive, or a drive that's not turning on or operating correctly, seemingly that's the symptom. It turns off every 2 to 4 minutes and turns back on, and you can't connect Bluetooth to it, which is crazy, because it's funny that this drive right here is what helps connect the Bluetooth to the car, and everything else seemingly works without it. So anyways, I have a drive right here that is seemingly corrupt, even though it probably would still work for the copy. I have the new drive here, and then I have the drive that's good out of my girlfriend's Cayenne diesel. This is a 2015 though, but same exact thing, it's identical. And let me show you how to flash all this. So I'm gonna put this on my head and I'll walk you through it. This is gonna be a seemingly lengthy process, but I'll try to make it quick here. So we're gonna go ahead and open up our new drive. Wow, didn't even open it, so you're gonna get to witness this unboxing of this drive here. So again, opening up this 250 gigabyte solid state drive, and this thing does straight up bolt right into the factory thing right here, which I will show you in a moment, because yeah, I got to take it apart anyways, so I'll just show it to you. So let's plug these in. So to do this, you're gonna need a PC with like Windows 7, 8, or Windows 10, I think, and up. You could probably do it on any Windows, but it needs to have Windows. It needs to have these SATA connections, which I didn't have at my house, but my dad had this older PC that had all this stuff. So I need to connect up the power cables to these SATA connectors, and then the data port right here. Get these data ports plugged up. So we're all plugged up. We got the new drive that's blank. We got the good drive out of my girlfriend's car. But again, I'm 99% positive this one would have worked. But just for good, like for sake of showing you and making it 100% sure, because I don't want to have to come back over here. But I am going to try to get this image file off of the good drive and put it in the comments or the links below so that people can download this, because it's seemingly impossible to find this crap on the internet. So let me turn this baby on, and let's check out some let's see what these E88s have bid up to, these wide body 911 E88s. 4,300 bucks, 12 minutes left. Wow. Wow, we gonna see, oh, these are 18s, that's why. Well, we'll see what they go up to. If they sell for less than 6, that's a pretty good deal. Okay, so once the PC's uploaded or not updated or anything, you got your SATA connections going on. You got your 2 drives. You got your new solid state drive. Again, it has to be over 100 gig because this particular one holds about 90. This is a 100 gig spinning drive, so it has to be over 90 gig because that's what's going to be able to, you know, hold all of the information that's on here. We'll go over to, where is it? Oh, it's out here, Disk Genius right here. So we're gonna open up Disk Genius, and you just, when downloading Disk Genius, this is a free program, but you gotta make sure you get the right one for if you're Windows 30, what is it, 84, 32-bit, or 64-bit. So anyways, you gotta make sure you get the right one for what computer hardware you have. And yeah, so once we're in this program, this is what it looks like, and it's showing all of our drives. The Hitachi is the one, or sorry, the Toshiba is the one that, this is our Toshiba 100 gigabyte, and then this one's the Pony, the PNY. So it's showing both of those. This one's got 93 gig on it, and this one's got 233 gig on it, and then there's 2 other drives that are these drives right here, so you don't need to worry about those. So what you need to do is you need to go up to Tools, you come down to Clone Disk D, so Tools, Clone Disk D. I don't know if it matters, but I'll tell you the version. We're on version 5.6.1.1580. No, I don't think that matters. So we go to Clone Disk D under Tools, and then it says Select Source Disk. So our source disk is the Toshiba, the 100 gigabyte one. So we click our source disk, we hit OK, then it's going to say select target disk. So our target disk is going to be the free PNY 250 gigabyte one. So again, this is our target disk, and this is our source disk. I know that's seemingly self-explanatory. Now, here's where we went wrong. If you hit copy all files, It basically copies what it looks like is all of this onto here, but it doesn't actually copy anything, and it happens instantaneously. So that's not gonna work because it's 100 gigabytes, and I've never seen, no matter the fastest thing you've ever seen in your life, there's no way 100 gigabytes can get over in a second. So we go to copy all sectors. Now this is where, that was where we screwed up before. Copy all sectors. And obviously we want to prevent the system from sleeping, blah, blah, blah. We, again, just to make sure, our source disk is the Toshiba, our target disk is the 250 gigabyte one, and we've copied all sectors. Now we hit start, it says warning, data files, partitions of target disk will be overwritten. Obviously that's okay, we don't care. Are you sure you want to clone the Toshiba disk to the Pony? Yes. And then it says lock and execute, which basically makes everything say you can't, it's not going to do anything. You can't do anything while this is doing its thing, basically. Now, it's copying right now. It'll show you a taskbar here in a second of like progress, but it should take about 35 minutes because the read-write speed on this particular drive is slow, and this is fairly fast. I think this is 600 megabit. There you go, you see the process bar right there. So anyways, this is gonna take about 30 minutes, and I'm gonna leave and go do some errands while I'm waiting on that to happen. But yeah, that's how you flash this drive. Once it's flashed, I'm gonna pull this case right here and put this particular drive in that little tiny case. These are Loctited on, and they're used all of the Loctite. So when I take that off later, you're gonna be astounded at how much force it takes. But they are like little Torx screws or security bits. And yeah, just leave this thing alone. Hopefully the cat doesn't freak out and like freaking melt anything. We'll put these inside here so Kitty doesn't get to mess with them. And yeah, we're gonna go run some errands while that's doing its thing. Again, like I said, it's gonna take about 30 minutes. So. To show you that it's all copied, so I'm just going to go to tools, clone disk again. I'm not going to actually clone it, but I'll show you. Here's the 250 megabit or 250 gigabytes drive. It says 139 gigabytes of space, and then it has these two things. They're actually 5 total, and this is the Toshiba drive right here, as in 100 gigabytes is the drive's capacity, and then there's 93.2 used, so it looks obviously very full. And even though there's all this blank space on the other drive, it'll still work. So yeah, just wanted to show you that these were now identical. Basically, it took about, like I said, 37 minutes or so. So what I'm gonna do now is just shut this computer down, pull these drives, and I'm gonna pull the case off this drive, put it on this drive, and then I'll install that drive back in the Cayenne, and we should be good to go. Got those 4 screws out. This thing just kind of pops out like that, and this only fits one way, so just pop it in there like that. So now we just got to put it back in the car and make sure it works, and it's solid state. It boots up a little faster, so we'll see. The drive goes on the top here. It's got a little SATA connector. Again, I put all that back together. This slips in like this. I haven't tried to undo this ribbon cable, so I don't know if it's like super fragile or whatnot, but and then this guy just slips right in there like that. Them with me. Yeah, let me go grab them real quick. Make sure all of our, this is kind of the hard part because the whole car is leaning back because it's on a hill, and I'm in a leather seat that is very slippery. But basically I just want to make sure all my cables are in there and not all pinched in any way, shape, or form, we can remove this blanket, take these guys and stuff them in here. I'm gonna do the whole Murphy situation, and I'm not gonna put the last bolt in until we figure out if it's gonna work or not. Okay, key, head unit on. This guy, get out of here. I'm just gonna delete all, because why not? I would do the hard reset thing, but seemingly we're logged in. We hit pair on the phone. I did it before you could see it. I synced my contacts for fucking whatever reason. Bluetooth is connected. Let's just play something for 2 seconds so you can see. Bluetooth audio is selected.
And that one's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, now
not break now.
I know. If it does, we have a backup. So, and these just kind of clip back in. We're all clipped back in. Let's take this off, because we no longer need to do anything. We'll put it back where it was. Make sure most of our clips are there. This one has come off and it's in our thing. We'll put that back. Just make sure all those are kind of in their right places. And then make sure you're lined up. And we're all settled up there. And this is a sick mod that I really, really like in all of my Cayennes. I do it on the third one, but you can get these on Amazon for 20 bucks, micro case. But yeah, I flip it upside down so that it has something to rest on there for leverage. Slide it over. I mean, that was like instantaneous. Bluetooth settings. Aux. Usually you have to wait like, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds. And then Bluetooth will show up over here. Jukebox is empty. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Please insert disc. There it is. Bluetooth. So it, yes. About the same. I mean, a little faster. Mine in the other car with the other drive took like maybe 20 seconds. By the time I got moving, it was usually on. But anyways, hell yeah. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. I know I did. It was super frustrating. And now both of our Cayenne diesels are, the head unit, the PCM 3.1, is bulletproof. So thanks for joining. If you want to check out other car stuff, you can subscribe and do all that shit. But so if you want the file, in case yours is corrupt for whatever reason, it's the PCM 3.1 file. I'll have a email address in the bottom that you can send me an email, and I'll just send it to you. It's about 90 gig. I can use WeTransfer, and it'll, however long your download speed takes, it'll take however long that is as an image file, and then yeah, you can put that image file onto a drive that you can get on Amazon through a SATA connector, and you can fix it up real quick. Cool, thanks, bye.